It's unsettling how swiftly a life can unravel. One day, everything feels stable and known. Then, without warning, it all vanishes beneath your feet like mist fading into silence. And now, here I am, 32 years old, sitting in my childhood bedroom in my parents' house in Dallas. The walls are still covered in faded posters of long-forgotten teenage crushes. The desk overflows with old trinkets and dust-covered memories. I let out a dry, cynical laugh. The irony feels almost scripted. This wasn't the future I imagined for myself. My name is Olivia, and never in my wildest fears did I think I'd end up back here, sorting through yearbooks and fragments of old memories, trying to understand how my world came undone. It all began with Daniel. We first met at a housewarming party thrown by my friend Rachel. She had just moved into a townhouse so perfect it could have been plucked from the pages of a glossy magazine. It was the sort of home I used to dream about, the kind I pinned to vision boards and fantasized over on quiet Sunday mornings. As I stepped inside, a wave of envy washed over me, not just because of the aesthetic charm or the warm glow of cinnamon-scented candles. It was her life. Rachel had everything I secretly craved: a successful career, a fiancé who looked at her like she hung the stars, a path that seemed clear and bright. Meanwhile, I was still navigating an endless loop of disappointing dating apps and empty small talk. I had begun to wonder if the kind of love that lasts just wasn't in the cards for me. And then I saw him. Daniel. He stood slightly apart from the others. Tall, dark hair, and a quiet composure that pulled people in without effort. But what truly caught my attention wasn't his appearance. It was how he listened. Fully. Intently. He wasn't waiting for his chance to speak. He was there, present in a way that felt rare. We talked for hours like we had known each other forever. And for the first time in ages, something flickered to life inside me, something hopeful and warm. Maybe, just maybe, I had finally found someone who would stay. And for a while, he did. Daniel was everything I had quietly wished for. Thoughtful. Steady. Soft in his affection, but deep in his loyalty. I felt truly safe with him, in a way that calmed every part of me. There were no games. No confusion. Love between us felt easy, natural. Within a year, he proposed. A year later, we were exchanging vows beneath soft lights. It felt like the dream I had always wanted, love that didn't need fireworks to feel real. Daniel didn't declare love through grand gestures, he showed it in the tiniest, most meaningful ways. A note tucked in my bag before work. Coffee made just the way I liked it. Fixing things without needing to be asked. But slowly, something inside me shifted. The very steadiness I once cherished began to feel ordinary. His patience, once comforting, started to seem dull. His calm predictability no longer stirred my heart. He didn't whisk me away on last-minute adventures or shower me with cinematic declarations. He was simply there. And instead of holding on tighter, I let doubt take root. Had I mistaken consistency for lack of passion? Chosen safety over spark? The questions started as passing thoughts. But they grew louder. They stormed inside my head, demanding answers I didn't have. Everything broke at a dinner party. Just a casual night. Close friends, wine flowing, soft music in the background. The conversation turned to love. Whether it was fate or timing. How we know we've chosen the right person. Without thinking, I laughed and blurted out, honestly, if I could do it over, I probably wouldn't have married Daniel. The room went still. Glasses hung frozen midair. Laughter vanished. And I felt every ounce of blood drain from my face. I turned to Daniel. He was motionless. His hand gripped his wine glass tightly, expression unreadable. His voice was low, cutting, "Wow. Good to know." Panic surged through me. I tried to laugh it off. Joke. Pretend it was a tasteless comment made under the influence of too much wine. But it was too late. The damage was done. He didn't argue. Didn't raise his voice. That night, he went to bed in silence. By morning, he was gone. His side of the bed was untouched. His clothes, gone. His toothbrush, missing. But what shattered me most was what he chose to leave behind. His wedding ring, resting neatly on the nightstand beside a photo from our honeymoon. I stared at it, hollow. I called him. No response. I texted. Nothing. I told myself he needed space. Time. That he would return once the pain dulled. But days turned to weeks. Then a month. And that's when I knew. He wasn't coming back. And the most brutal part? It wasn't just that he left. It was how easily he let go. While I was drowning in guilt and longing, he had already started moving forward. I saw him one afternoon while walking through downtown. He was seated at a small outdoor cafe, sunlight warming his features. Laughing. Smiling. Across from him sat a woman who embodied every insecurity I had ever carried. Elegant, serene, glowing with quiet confidence. She didn't demand attention. She simply was. And Daniel looked at her the way he once looked at me, like she was everything. A wave of grief and longing swept over me. I wanted to run to him. To throw myself at his feet. To beg him to remember. To give us one more try. But I didn't. Because deep down I knew. He was already gone. And worse, I understood why. I never truly deserved him. Regret doesn't arrive in shouts. It slips in like fog, unnoticed at first. It rides in the passenger seat. Follows you into your dreams. It sits beside you in the quiet, reminding you of everything you let slip away. I had something real. Something gentle and rare. And I let it slip through my hands, chasing a mirage of passion and excitement. Daniel didn't leave because his love faded. He left because he finally saw the truth. I could never love him the way he needed. And now I sit here, in this old room, surrounded by dusty trophies and half-written journals, crushed beneath the weight of what I lost. People say you don't know what you have until it's gone. But sometimes, you do know. You just don't believe you'll ever lose it.